Funny thing about Fallout 4 compared to the other Fallouts in the series, it has far more weapon combinations than the rest of the other games, but a surprisingly low amount of the guns have real-life counterparts. Here are 5 Fallout 4 guns in real life. Deliverer. The Deliverer is usually one of the first silenced weapons you'll get in Fallout 4, making it pretty useful for quite a while. All of the weapons on this list are modifiable to some extent, so I'm not going to waste time mentioning it for each weapon. You get the Deliverer from Deacon after you clear out the Switchboard for the Railroad. It's based on the Walther PPK, which is a part of Walther's PP line of handguns. Released by Walther in 1930, the PPK is smaller than its PP counterpart, and was designed that way to be more concealable for the police. The PPK name itself actually means Police Pistol Detective Model, as it was intended to be used in a more formal environment. Despite its undercover intentions, it did see a bit of action in World War II, where it was a weapon used by the German Air Force. While the modern PPK is chambered in 30 ACP, the Deliverer uses 10mm ammunition, likely to avoid introducing a new ammo type into the game. Submachine Gun. The submachine gun found in Fallout 4 can be considered a nice middle ground between the low-powered pipe rifles and the larger assault rifles, thanks to its high fire rate and decent damage. It's commonly found on triggermen and the guards in Good Neighbor, but it's also found on raiders occasionally and can be purchased from all sorts of vendors. The submachine gun is quite obviously based on the Thompson submachine gun, the M1918A2 model for the most part. It was originally manufactured by Auto Ordnance Company, though companies like Colt and Savage Arms have also manufactured some, and famously saw action in World War II, was an icon of the Prohibition era in America, and was even used by the US military up until 1971. It's still used in other parts of the country today, but considering production stopped in 1945, it's probably more cost-effective to use other firearms. The ammunition types are likely the same for the 1918A2 and the submachine gun, as the Tommy gun fires a 45 ACP and the in-game weapon fires a 45. Rifle. The rifle, more than anything else, is a base weapon that you build on. Its base version is useful, but to maximize its effectiveness, you'll really need to mod it. While the rifle is not as common as something like a pipe pistol, it can still be found on raiders, super mutants, and gunners. The rifle is based on the Remington Model 700, a series of rifles manufactured by Remington since 1962. In its M24 form, the Model 700 was used in the Persian Gulf War, as well as the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. Remington also has a police version of the Model 700 in addition to its civilian offering. The gun can be chambered in a wide variety of calibers, well over 3 dozen in fact. The calibers available for it in-game are .380, .308, and .50 caliber. Of the three, the Remington Model 700 can only be chambered in .308. Radium Rifle. The first DLC weapon on this list, but not the last. The Radium Rifle is a rifle, shocking, that appears in the Far Harbor DLC for Fallout 4. From a distance, the Radium Rifle could be mistaken for a combat rifle. While they both fire 45 rounds, they are different. It can commonly be found on Children of Atom on the island, as well as being sold from vendors. The unique thing about the Radium Rifle is that it's been modified to deal radiation damage, in addition to ballistic damage. The Radium Rifle appears to be based on the Volkomgewehr, a line of rifles developed by the Nazis on the tail end of World War II. According to Wikipedia, the Volkomgewehr is a pretty simplified and bare-bones rifle due to the lack of resources in Germany during the mid-1940s. How a Nazi machine gun would end up in Maine in 2287 is quite the mystery, but the simplistic design does fit into the Fallout universe quite well. As is the usual case with weapons that aren't exactly well known, the Volkomgewehr and the Radium Rifle use different ammo types. The Radium Rifle fires a 45 round, while the Volkomgewehr fires a 7.92 by 33mm Kurz round, which was developed, like the rifle, by the Nazis. Handmade Rifle. Another DLC weapon to round out our little list here. The Handmade Rifle is one of the new weapons introduced in Nuka World. It can be found on raiders around Nuka World, and is also sold by vendors. Interesting fact, there is a cut assault rifle in Fallout 4 that strongly resembles both the Handmade Rifle and the Chinese assault rifle from Fallout 3. The Handmade Rifle is based on the AKM, a Russian variant of the AK-47 designed in the 1950s, just with a different type of foregrip. I said it was a Russian gun, but it was created back when Russia was still the Soviet Union. AKM, when translated, stands for Modernized Automatic Kalashnikov. It also fires a 7.62 by 39mm round. While it was replaced by the AK-74 in the 1970s, it still saw a lot of service in wars and conflicts around the world, including, but not limited to, the Vietnam War, Angolan Civil War, 1982 Lebanon War, Somali Civil War, Iraq War, and many others. The Handmade Rifle is pretty unique in one respect. Rather than relying on an ammo type already in the game, it uses a 7.62 round, and is, aside from the unique variants of the gun, the only weapon in Fallout 4 to use this ammo type. This makes the Handmade Rifle a pretty powerful weapon once you unlock certain upgrades. Of course, the major downside is that the ammo is not common as something like a 45 or 10mm round. Alright, that's going to do it for this video about 5 Fallout 4 guns in real life. If you enjoyed the video or learned anything, leave a like. Leave a dislike if you didn't enjoy the video or didn't learn anything. Follow me on Twitter at Mitten Squad. My name is Paul of Mitten Squad. Have a wonderful day.